My name is Josh Byrne, and I'm on a mission to prove that high-performance housing is a realistic and affordable option for the mainstream housing market in Australia, and there's no reason for it to be held back. I'm on a national research tour, visiting exciting and innovative high-performance housing projects to learn as much as I can and share it all with you. This is Josh's house, Star Performers. It's great to be in northern Queensland, in a city that's really striking its own way in terms of innovative and holistic approaches to sustainability. I was here a few months back to take part in a workshop that looked at what a high-performance house might feel like and look like in this region and climate type. And I was so impressed with what I saw that I had to come back. I learned so much on my first visit to Townsville, and I've been itching to get back, and there's heaps to show you. Home to around 200,000 people, Townsville is the biggest city in Northern Australia. There are some really impressive energy efficiency initiatives underway, including huge solar installation projects on major buildings like the basketball stadium and Barrier Reef Aquarium. And I'm impressed to see large-scale, grid-integrated solar battery storage units coming online, which I reckon is the way of the future. There are simple initiatives like recharging stations for electric vehicles, low-energy street lighting, and previous buyback schemes of inefficient white goods and appliances and the Paint Your Roof White campaign have proved to be extremely successful. And Deputy Mayor Vern Veach has a simple explanation as to why it's worked so well. So we've seen some of the really impressive sustainability initiatives that the city's doing. What's driving these initiatives?
It's a combination of things. It's a very strong commitment to improving our environment and being sustainable in the long term, but it's all about saving money as well. So we're saving our ratepayers a lot of money by doing these things.
So Townsville being quite remote and in a high cyclone risk area, how important is the whole resilience issue for the city?
It is particularly important for us. We're 1,300 kilometres from our capital city and we're 800 kilometres from where our electricity is produced. So we really need to think a lot smarter. We need to move into this renewable energy age. We need to do things like battery storage in particular so that we can have some backup locally when the power lines go out. We get over 330 days a year of no cloud. So that's a good start. But I think the whole of the population needs to grab onto this. We need to understand that if we do things a smart way, it's going to save us a lot of money in our community, and we will be able to market that globally. And we can be the centre of excellence in tropical technology right across the planet.
I love the ambitious attitude the City Council has, and I think this feeds into the community's response to the collaborative projects it introduces. I experienced this firsthand during the Sustainable Tropical House workshops I attended, but there was something else I discovered during this first trip to Townsville, and it's the reason that I'm back. The thing that impressed me most about my last visit is a house that I've come back to see. And it's in a new suburb about 25 minutes to the north of town. At the end of a street, there was a display village filled with fairly typical new houses. But this one is a high-performance 10-star house built by Finlay Homes. And we're going to meet the owner of the company, Darren Finlay, and his family, who have just moved in to find out how it's going. The fact that the owner of the building company has moved into this house with his family shows there's a real belief and commitment to their high-performance home design. To top it off, they've decided to install state-of-the-art monitoring systems to collect data and show just what the house can achieve. So was it always the plan to have the house as a display phase and then be your family home?
Yeah, it was. I mean, previously we have built highly energy efficient homes as display homes, but the hard part is unless you have the experience, it doesn't always mean very much. And I thought also it'd be a great learning experience for us and us as a family to be able to then basically communicate that back to people. But definitely the other part of it is there's just no data on tropical housing. So this was a chance for us to actually live that data.
To see it actually come to fruition has been so exciting. I'm so excited for him. but for us to be a part of it too is really exciting. And everywhere we're going and talking to our friends and family, everyone's interested. Everyone wants to know.
Everyone asks us questions all the time, and I didn't think everyone would react to that. Like at school, they actually want to learn about what's happening in the house. Like kids, I didn't think would be interested, but they actually are at school. So
there's a lot of pressure for a sleepover.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That shows that there is interest out there from surprising parts of the community. This house has been designed and built for this family, with their interests and way of life in mind. And this makes it really feel like a home, even though they've only just moved in. Outside, the family has its first veggie garden where they love spending time. The garden is decorated with upcycled art pieces made by local artists who are commissioned to create their work from leftover building materials and debris. I love this idea. There's even a basketball court and plenty of young tropical fruits like bananas, pawpaw, and even a few pineapples. Inside, there's such a comfy feel. All of the furniture is second-hand and has been chosen well. And this is a great move in terms of internal air quality, as new furniture brings with it a host of nasty off-gassing chemicals. Walking through the house, Darren shows me a few more surprising inclusions.
So here's one of the features that I really love, and the kids love as well, the Harry Potter effect.
Oh, the secret room. This is cool. Love it.
And it also gives us the ability to multi-user space. So ultimately, my boys are twins, so sometimes they like each other, sometimes they don't. And this gives them the chance to be able to have their own privacy when they want it.
Nice. Oh, it's like the Japanese door.
That's it. But then also to push it away.
Yeah.
And then because of the way the space is used, we can also be able to fold up the beds. So these are Murphy beds, so we can fold these away and fold them out of the way, and the boys have heaps of room to be able to play.
Obviously cleaned the room this morning and stuffed all the stuff under the bed. I didn't know you'd be doing that.
That's it.
This is a great concept.
Yeah, so there's a couple more features in this room that I really love. The first thing is we've been able to reuse some pallets from our warehouse for our wall feature.
Nice.
And we've been able to build a wall bed basically out of 100 wall studs, and my apprentices put it together and we slipped it into the opening. Another little feature that I really love and particularly fits in with our modern lifestyles is our recharge centre. I actually refer to it as the husband protection centre. The area where we get to put your keys, you get to put your phone, all of those things that you get in trouble for putting somewhere else.
Your real life messy stuff.
Absolutely.
Now, I've got to ask you, I love this blackboard noteboard. Do you guys really keep a neat shopping list like that, or was it art?
A little bit of both. Jane's fantastic at the artwork, but I can say we have cooked all of those here.
Have you? I just think it's gorgeous. The whole board, it's great. It's really, it's functional and it's beautiful.
Absolutely, works well.
So from a construction perspective, what's different about this build to others in the region?
Yeah, well, I suppose the main difference is the external skin's a bit different. In Townsville, probably 90% of the homes are built in single skin masonry construction.
Like concrete blocks?
Absolutely. Yeah. So in other parts of Australia, they'd only be used for commercial construction, but it's really the standard construction here. So,
okay.
But this is actually a frame construction. So it's the back to the future. It's the old Queenslander modernised.
So is that timber frame?
Timber frame with a cladding on the outside, gyprock on the inside, and then heavily insulated so we can get our performance value.
The house is a slab-on-ground construction, and this is beneficial here because it couples to the cooler temperature below surface level, stabilising indoor temperature. Glazing is all standard low E throughout the house, with the addition of timber louvers in some areas for full sun blockout and minimal heat transfer, while still allowing almost 100% ventilation when needed. The design encourages breezeways throughout the home through positioning of windows and passageways with taller doorways, increasing the airflow and giving a very roomy and overall comfortable feel. In terms of energy use, all appliances are highly energy efficient, including ceiling fans. There's a 4 kilowatt hour solar system on the roof and an 8 kilowatt lead acid grid integrated battery storage, which we don't see very often in houses, but I reckon we'll see them a lot more in the near future. There are also some great water saving initiatives with a rainwater tank that's used for garden watering, toilets that use the water that's filling up the system for hand washing, and even a device in the shower that captures cold water as you wait for it to warm up. Really, everything has been addressed throughout this house, and we're going to be able to see what kind of impact has been made as the family enters the living laboratory stage. So from a builder's perspective, is doing this harder or more expensive than a typical local building response?
Not a lot. Relatively, it's actually quite a simple process, and most of it just requires you to think a bit differently. So to take this home, for instance, from 6-star to 10-star was less than $7,000. And quite often it's actually the stuff that we've forgotten that is actually most important. And I'm a builder, so if I'm gonna have a business building homes, I'd rather be building good ones that really benefit my clients. And in this situation, I can prove that it doesn't cost much and you can be so much better off.
What a wonderful home, and what a lovely family who are willing to share their journey with us. What I find fascinating is here we've got a builder who's been behind this project who tells us that this kind of approach is so accessible, both in terms of cost and complexity. So it leaves me asking, still, why aren't there more of them? I'll be keeping an eye on the performance data of this exceptional home, and you can as well by visiting joshshouse.com.au. There you can find out more about this house and all of the others that I'm visiting for the Star Performers project. As well as that, there's plenty of videos, plans and fact sheets that you can access for free. In the next episode of Josh's House Star Performers, I'm off to Mining Boom Central, Karratha, to see a project led by the WA government developer. It's a house that's challenging the norms for improved performance in the region and complementing the way people live in the Pilbara. And it's turning a few heads.